Hi, I'm Meryl Key, and this is my mystery school. This is the Heart of Tarot series, where we go through the entire tarot deck from start to finish with everything you need to know about tarot. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. And if you want to support my channel, a like, share, comment goes down really well. Thank you. This is number 5 in the series, where we dive deep into the symbolism and meaning of each card of the major arcana. We'll break this section into a few parts, but here we're going to go through cards 0 to 4 and continue this line in the next video, finishing off with some readings and a review. Get your cards ready, get your journals ready, and step into this first part of the major arcana. Hi, it's the Heart of Tarot, and today we're going to go through the majors, the major arcana. There's 22 cards, including one card which is a 0, and it's really important to understand what the majors are telling you, the key words and the symbols, because from that you can get some good interpretation and really get a handle on how the tarot is speaking to you. The majors tell the story of the Fool evolving through his development to spiritual enlightenment and self-actualization, which is what the archetypal story of the tarot is all about. We'll be looking at the major arcana in 3 sections. Each section refers to a different stage of development, and today we'll just be looking at cards 0 to 4. Get your cards out, get your journal ready, and thank you very much for tuning in and beginning your tarot journey. The story of the tarot begins with the Fool, number 0. He is our main protagonist. Just pause the video now, look at your own tarot card or have a look at this one, and write down a few of your first impressions. The story of the majors begins with the Fool. The Fool is a card of new beginnings. You can see the bright yellow, the number 0, the clear sky. It's a card of awareness, of taking a leap of faith, leaping empty-handed into the void. The Fool is about knowing but not knowing. It's a very complex kind of a character. He's not actually foolish. You can see his baggage here. He's still carrying something with him. The keywords for the Fool card are initiation, new beginnings, fresh starts, spontaneity, joyfulness, the leap of faith. It's a big deal. You have to have faith because he doesn't know what's going to happen. What are the symbols present in the Fool? It tells us that this is about new beginnings, initiation, recklessness and spontaneity. First of all, you can see the yellow. It's the colour of freedom. It's the colour of the element air. And so it's spacious and opening and bright and confident. There's a confidence with this card. And yet the lower half tells a different story. We've got the animal protector here, the little dog barking. Some would say issuing a warning. Perhaps that's representing the instinct or a guide, a protector. Just knowing that when you do step off the cliff, it's being witnessed is sometimes an important part of initiating you into a new journey. You can see there's this open pose, this, gazing up at the sky, very carefree. The swag he's holding, the stick, becomes later on the staff of knowledge of the hermit. Over his shoulder with his baggage. Everyone's got a bit of baggage, and so has this Fool. So you don't start off with nothing. As we talked about, it's a number 0. The number 0 really gives us this feeling of stepping through a portal into some unknown and having to trust, having to have the faith to take the next step. This is the stage of the journey where if it was a caterpillar, it would just be munching away on the leaves, not knowing what was happening next, just thinking that's what life was all about. And all you have to do is munch away and find another leaf and munch away. It's the state of being unconscious, and yet within you there's a desire to expand and know more, though you don't know that yet. That's what the Fool's all about. The other part to the Fool is literally a fool. Someone vacuous, foolish, reckless, risk-taking, unaware, That's the lower level of the Fool. The higher level is really when you are unaware that you're about to embark on a whole new opening adventure. When did you act on a whim or a hunch or a slap from the universe, and that small step that you took began a massive journey? That's a Fool event. When fate tempts you and you're forced to grow in some way, these are the crossroads of life. The Fool has a choice, but the first step is always unknown and requires faith. When did you have a journey, stepping off the cliff like the Fool? Card number 1, the Magician. The first person that the Fool meets is the Magician. The Magician is a master of illusion that opens the door to you, gives you all the tools, but says, I can't do it for you. You have to use the tools and find your own path. So the Magician isn't someone that accompanies with you. He's the one that just turns up when you need a little synchronistic sort of sign from the universe. Am I on the wrong path or am I on the right path? The key words for the Magician are initiation, will, power, manifestation, education. On the downside or the lower vibration, it's a con man, someone who uses their words very cleverly, a spin doctor, a master of illusions. Let's have a look at this master of illusion in detail. First up, it's a number 1, solitary, a leader, alone, assured, self-orientated, self-actualized. The Magician is the beginning, the call. The pose here is really important with the Magician because it's repeated over and over again in the tarot, and it represents the stance of as above, so below. Some of you may know that as the law of attraction, the law of correspondence. The microcosm is the macrocosm. Even yin and yang represent this duality of nature, that what we create inside of ourselves is what we manifest outside of ourselves. And the Magician is the card that uses will to drive the desire into manifestation. So you can see he has the figure 8 over his head, the sign of eternity, karma, of what goes around comes around. It's also a sign of balance and a reminder that in some way fate has the final word. He's wearing a snake twisted around his robe as a belt, and this also reinforces this feeling of transformation and alchemy. The end always follows the beginning, follows the end, follows the beginning. It's eternal. He's holding the double-ended wand at the top, and we see he's bordered by these garlands of flowers. And down here, lilies and red roses, the white and the red representing the blood and the semen. Again, this duality, as above, so below. And when you pull them in together and drive it, see his fixed and focused stare. When you drive it, that's when you manifest. On his table, we see he has the 4 suits of the tarot, pentacles, wands, swords, and the cups. And this is what he is offering. This is the call saying you have the skills and you have the tools. Magician segues beautifully from the Fool when you see them together. Isn't that great? The yellow background, the air sign, intellect, communication, clarity, focus and action. This is the stage of the journey that's the call to adventure. When you just thought life was going along as normal, and all of a sudden, bang, something taps you on the shoulder. A piece of information is given, an opportunity is opened. Maybe a teacher or a wiser person signals you out. Usually the Magician is a person that enters your life and awakens you, rings the bell. The magician's pose, as we said, as above, so below, is such an important feature in tarot. It's the energy and the law of attraction that guides the whole system. What you want to create is already inside you, and your own doing is creating external forces. So that is the message of the magician. Open the door. You can manifest. The magician says you'll need will and willpower and some logic and some lucky breaks to make it happen. The magician represents the power of manifestation, the power of the spoken word. He invokes, he calls in, he expresses. So part of the magic of the magician, and this is a big yes card, part of the magic is speaking it, naming it, owning it, and claiming it. The magician is a really powerful card to get in a reading because it opens the doors. Our next character in the Fool's Journey is the High Priestess, number 2. And again, just for a moment, pause the video, look at your own tarot card of the High Priestess, or look at this one, and just write your impressions. The High Priestess is the archetypal yin, feminine energy. Yin is energy that is passive, calm, dark, inward looking. Her key words are intuition, the primary feminine archetype, spirituality, wisdom, silence, reflective, unknown, mystery and secrets. Let's look at this card in detail. First up, it's a number 2, which is the number of union, of having to be able to see yourself through the eyes of the other. In the High Priestess case, it's about going inward. And you can tell that when you look at these other bright, open, confident, and then we're peering into this card. Peering in beyond these pillars, they're black and grey. We're in a liminal space here. There's other cards in the deck that have these columns, this feeling of structure, of having to move through a space before you can access the energy and the message of the card. One of them would be the Justice card, another is the Hierophant. So these cards that give a message that there's a bridge. There's some water here in the background and a veil held up behind this beautiful goddess figure with pomegranates. Pomegranates are a symbol of the feminine. It's a rich, luscious fruit with lots of red berries spilling out. It fruits at equinox, which is when the day and night have equal forces, and we're moving into winter. This is the time of the High Priestess. So this beautiful goddess represents Persephone and her story of going into the underworld to become queen of that place. She's the one that calls us into ourselves, gather our wisdom, our strength, our resources, we gather the information we need before we can come back to the surface at the spring equinox. The High Priestess has the crescent moon at her feet and crescent moon and full moon on her headdress. She is the spiritual mother of the Fool and the Fool's Journey. She has a scroll in her lap. This is the scroll of esoteric wisdom, meaning this woman has the knowledge. She's veiled, so the knowledge is somewhat concealed, and her robes just flow down like water. The High Priestess brings out the psychic nature and the mystery behind the scenes. So she is the goddess of the hidden agenda, of secrets that are yet to be revealed, and also about following your intuition, perhaps meditating. Exploring your answer will be found in the inner world, not in external forces. The High Priestess is veiled because she's holding the knowledge within. She's not going to go out and speak it This is a very silent, passive, withdrawn in some ways card. Without doubt, it means the answer you require cannot be revealed yet. You need to go in and search for the true answer from there. The next character the Fool comes across is the Empress, the mother, the physical feminine force. The Empress is Mother Nature. She is ever growing, ever creating. She can't be stopped. She is a force to be reckoned with. When the Empress comes up in a reading, it's a yes card, but often that there's a period of time before she will come through and manifest. It's a time you'll feel optimistic, enjoying relationships, taking care of your body. She's a very sensual card that enjoys physical relationships, including our relationship to the earth. Her keywords are abundance, potential, new beginnings, mothering, pregnancy, growth, and number one, creativity. Isn't this a bright, rich, abundant card? It's just overflowing and glorious, radiant. Let's look at some of the symbols that tell us this card is about creation and new life. We see this beautiful figure sitting here. She has pomegranates on her robe. Pomegranates are the symbol of female sexuality, of ripeness and lusciousness. She's crowned with the 12 stars of the zodiac, or in some readings they would interpret this as the 12 tribes of humanity. She is the divine embodiment of earthly creation. Beside her here we see the waterfall, and I like to think of this as the water that flows from the high priestess's gowns. From the crescent moon, we come out to the outside world. The ripe corn down the bottom is also a signal, a nod towards Mother Nature, the goddess Demeter. The growing corn represents the idea of cycles, that all things have a time of coming into ripeness. And this card is about that ripeness. She has a shield beside her. She doesn't need to use it for protection. It's in the shape of a heart, and it's got the glyph or the symbol, not only for the feminine, but also for Venus. She even has these Venus symbols repeated on her beautiful, luscious pillows. She holds an orb, indicating wholeness, truth. This is the scepter that rules everyday life. The Empress affects our everyday interactions. From her gown, there's an ambiguity about her status. She may be pregnant because this card does refer to pregnancy. Pregnancy, fullness, openness, creation. Her stare is gentle yet direct, honest and open. Her pose is open and relaxed, and she has some sort of gesture of the as above, so below that the magician gave us. But now, instead of pointing up to heaven and drawing it down, she's holding it close. She is nature. Everything here is flowing, rooted into the earth. She's a number 3, the number of creation. 1 is solitary, 2 is a pair. When a pair come together, we create the 3rd. 3 is a lucky number in our everyday lives. We think of 3 lucky wishes, start, middle, end, even the 3 phases of the moon, the maiden, the mother and the crone. 3 dominates our way of understanding the world. It's a number of growth, imagination and fertility. When the Empress comes up for you, it's a big yes card. It's a sign that there's new beginnings, new creation, and you've got the abundance and support, the nurturing to go with it. Because she's physical feminine force, she's also very sensual, physical attraction, sexuality, enjoying your body, great self-esteem, confidence, and number 1, that ability to just pick it up and keep on going. Have you had a time where you felt like the Empress? You had confidence, self-esteem, you felt really comfortable and relaxed in your body. Think of that time and write in your journal the smells that you remember, the colours you remember, the sounds you remember in that time, and the way you felt. And just get your senses really connecting in with the Empress. The next person that the Fool has to meet in the stage of his developmental journey is the father. Having met with the Empress and seen the abundance and nurturing and creation that can come, the Fool now needs to learn discipline, needs to learn the laws, needs to learn organisation and structure, how to bring all that abundance down to a manageable foundation and fundamental level. This is the stage of the journey where the Fool has met a spiritual mother who's gone within. He's met the Earth Mother who gives him the support and abundance. Now he's meeting the Earth Father, where on his journey he needs to get structure, discipline, and take on the responsibilities required to make his journey a success. The Emperor is the card with keywords: structure, organisation, authority, reality, actuality. He's very traditional, it's very fixed, it's very paternal, it's protective, and it is a reality check. It's a yes card if you want something actual. Look how solid and stable this card is. He's sitting on a concrete throne. It's square cut, just minor embellishments of the ram, which represents Aries. Aries is a leader, strong, alone, self-determined, and this is what our Emperor represents. He's the number 4, which is the most stable number. It's a cube, it's a square. It's very strong. He's fully decked out in a red cloak. We've seen this red cloak before with the magician. But this guy's old and he's pushed out to the mountains, out in isolation. We've got some small amount of water coming in here and his feet just revealing a small part of his armour that he wears underneath this red cloak. The red cloak is valour. He is brave. This guy's a warrior. He doesn't need to show any more of himself. His arms, if we look back at the magician pose, as above, so below, this guy is in resting and yet alert on both sides. He's achieved what he wants to manifest. He's comfortable where he is because he's a stable number 4. But there's not a lot of growth happening in this card. His gaze, like the Empress, is direct and to the front. Very authoritative, very commanding. The Emperor is our most authoritarian figure. He is the guy that represents order and structure. He's a number 4. Very real, a square, kind of a square. The Emperor is our old authority. It's rules and regulations, law, order, corporations, money, the patriarchy. This is our guy. Can you see why the Fool needs structure at this point of the journey? We'll be back with the rest of this line in the next video, and that will be the Hierophant number 5 through to the Chariot, and we'll also have some spreads and a review. I'm Meryl Key, and this is my Mystery School. Thanks for tuning in on this little trip into the heart of tarot. Find me on Instagram at my_mystery school or on my website www.merylkey.com.